Hello, my name is Daniel Tafoya. I'm with Two Brothers Roofing. I was there at your property this past Friday. I want to just give you a quick walkthrough of your roof. Now, just keep in mind the stucco breakage that you see here, it's a lot more deceiving than it really is. It makes the condition of the roof look a lot worse. Now, what I just circled there is an actual break that we should be concerned about. That's the break in your modified. And I'm going to demonstrate it here by pushing in. You can see that there's actual holes on the modified. I counted 6 on the lower level, and there was about another 6 on the upper level, and that's what we definitely want to take care of. Now here you can see that I'm demonstrating the buoyancy of the decking. So what's happening is water is getting in along the parapet because of those breaks that I demonstrated, and what happens is as it evaporates, it begins to travel just straight up, and as it does, it's deforming the decking. So it's underneath the tar and gravel application and soaks into the OSB, and then ultimately turns into a gas form and starts to just travel up, and as it does, it completely deforms all of the decking and makes it very buoyant. So what we'll do is, after installing our TPO application, we'll go ahead and install its two-way vents, and that'll help alleviate a lot of that hot air and gas that's trapped in that section of roof. We'll do the same for the upper level as well. And we'll take the TPO about 6 inches up and put our termination bar and then fully seal it with silicone. And then here I'm just showing you the condition of your canale. It's actually not in terrible condition. It's just a little old, but it's not rusted out or nothing. We'll still have to replace it because we get TPO lined canales, but I just want you to see the full condition of your existing roof. Now here we are on the second floor, and you can see the breakage on the stucco here. Now this breakage is more concerning because it's very widespread and it's a little higher than the breakage we seen demonstrated on the lower level. So what I'm thinking is we take the TPO, the termination bar, up to where that major fracture is, seeing as all it's really consistent throughout the entire upper section. We'll go ahead and take the TPO about between 6 to 8 inches up onto the parapet walls, and then of course seal it with silicone, and then 3-course it with silicone and membrane followed by silicone. But I did have good news, which is why your roof has lasted as long as it has with this gravel application. That's because you have a peak right there where I'm pointing. It peaks right there, goes in either direction, so it's called a bidirectional slope. It goes in either direction towards those canales. And then in between the canales, you have some crickets, and that diverts the water from getting stuck in between the canales on those opposing sides of the roof, and instead it directs the water into the canales. Same with this corner here. You can see it peaks and rushes towards the canale, and then there in the corner they built it up as well, so they put you corner crickets. I really like the design of this roof. I would like to reinforce your existing crickets by just enlarging the crickets to maximize the full corners and in between the canales, to utilize that space to build these crickets up all the way to the edges of each canale. But other than that, as I mentioned, this slope is fantastic, and with a combination of reinforcing these crickets, we would have a very effective and efficient water drainage. There's a broken penetration right there. We could go ahead and fix that PVC pipe by adding a coupler. And looking down here, we can see that you have a great slope on this garage portion. You do have a bit of a cricket, but again, as I mentioned, I'd like to just reinforce those crickets by building them up to be a bit more prominent. And upon completion of the roof, I'll swing by after the solar panels have been reinstalled. They are installed utilizing non-mechanical frames, so they're held down with just weight. And then here again, I'm demonstrating the buoyancy of this upper level. You also have it, despite having all of these vents on the parapet walls, which are fantastic for getting all of the hot air out of the walls itself. That air travels up and ultimately out of these vents, but it does nothing for the air that's trapped in the middle of the roof. And so that's where the two-way vents come in handy. So we'll go ahead and install 4 along the crown or the center where it peaks, and we'll be mindful to install them in places that won't be affected by the solar panels. And of course, as I mentioned before, we'll have 2 of these two-way vents on the garage. But my overall assessment is that this roof is definitely showing its age and is primed for a re-roofing application. I suggest a TPO as the combination of your slope and crickets, as well as the condition of the parapets and so forth. I feel this is a perfect candidate for a TPO application. Here is the final overview of your roof from a 360-degree view. And I will be forwarding you a roof diagram that I had constructed for this project, as well as your summary. So if you have any questions on it, please feel free to give me a ring at 505-315-6191. Thank you. Look forward to talking with you guys. Bye-bye.